What's up, everybody? Live from the third largest city in North America, Chicago, Illinois. It's The Drive with Mario Smith here on Backchannel.tv. Good afternoon to everybody. I hope your Easter was abundant and plentiful, and you had a good day and you enjoyed your family and you got a chance to reflect a little bit. If you're celebrating Passover, same for you. If you are in the midst of Ramadan, same for you. I hope you had a reflective and enjoyable day. One of the first times I can remember all three of those things crossing over at once. That's it's very interesting, and depending on how many people you know, very busy day. But thank you for coming down. We really appreciate it. My man Jay Gliss is in Portland, Oregon. Hello, Mr. Gliss. How are you, sir?
How's it going?
Oh man, look, what a day! It's tax day. Super happy about that. Uh, and I thought that my taxes were done, and then I got an email saying that they weren't done properly because I waited until today.
Yeah,
So I
I
have to, you know,
I did my federal like right out of the gate,
yeah,
and I was like, I when I texted you this morning, I was like, I still have to submit them. Like everything was already
it's
saved
done.
in
It's
TurboTax, but now I open it now on my laptop, and it's like not showing all the information. I'm like, oh,
yeah. This has been,
I might have a
I
little
don't.
more work to do. So
I feel like me personally, I should always do this well in advance of uh, whatever day they decide that you have to have it in. And then I almost went for an extension when I got the you did this wrong part. I was like, I can't. I have something to do this afternoon. I don't have time to redo the entire thing. But I fixed it. So I think I'm okay.
all
I
good.
don't make enough money to be worried about going to jail for taxes. Do you know what I'm saying? So I'm good.
It's true.
I'm good. I
Me too.
barely well, I'm like, yeah, I'm not gonna go all off, but I'm really close to just saying extension and being done with it. Busy weekend, Passover, Easter, and Ramadan, all one just crossover. It's like a big ABC after school special. All the people crossed over this weekend. Um, I am glad to be here. It's good to see you, man. I
Me
was
too.
thinking about you um and your family, which is a big family. What did you guys do for Easter? Because when I tell you what I did, you're gonna be like, get out of here.
So we kind of in the tradition of like what my grandparents used to do. We do like a Easter egg hunt, but it's kind of like how would I it's like a trade-off system. So like there's like a bunch of prizes, a bunch of stuff put out, each one has a number, and then
Right.
each egg has a number. So you find the eggs, the kids match up, they trade the egg for whatever, and then there's lots of trading that goes on. So that's kind of what we do.
The boys out here bartering with each other. That's good.
Yeah, pretty
Good,
much.
good learning lessons for the young man. Very good.
Yeah.
Very good. I made food as if I was feeding a small army, but it's just me. So I got up very early in the morning at what would be normally breakfast time and made dinner. And I probably ate like at noon, maybe 1 o'clock,
Okay.
and proceeded to try to watch television. Failed. Uh, Tried to get a little bit. Wanted to do my taxes, couldn't do that because I had a couple of pops, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
And it's really not a good idea to do that drunk. So I didn't
Yeah,
want to
not
make
the
an
best
attempt.
not the best time for it.
No. And I'm like, you know what? This will wait till tomorrow. I've waited this long. One more day. Yeah.
Good for you for having the presence of mind to know that, because sometimes if you've had a few, you might be like, oh no, that's a great idea. Like
I, I, I've
I'm
done so
super
much.
confident I'm gonna knock this out. Like
All I could think of was, man, they're gonna come to your door and be like, "Sir, do we need to show you how to file your taxes? What exactly? Did you have some alcohol, sir?" And it wasn't like I was in here like tripping over stuff or anything. I just felt
right.
like, no, I need to be
Yeah.
on top of this because I want to make sure I do this right. Especially after the last couple of years where literally it was like 0, 0, 0, 0. I didn't make any money, zero.
Yeah.
I didn't because I was in a house. But you know, we I got through it, and I must say, I am not a professional chef or anything like that. But I did well. I did really well. I made a I I guess I'm prouder of the marinade that I made than I am of the actual food that I ate. It's like mustard and red pepper flake and honey
Mm.
and a little bit of every. Oh man,
A good marinade goes a long way.
it's very important.
It's
And
a
if
big
I
difference.
could, I would have just went down and grilled it, but it happened to be like 30 degrees and raining and snowing and all kinds of crazy yesterday, so I didn't do it. But I'm glad to hear that you guys had a good Easter, and
Yeah,
I'm glad that was a successful event. The Easter egg hunt at the Gliss household.
yeah.
I went to an Easter egg hunt at my job. We I don't know if you're familiar with silent parties.
Oh yeah,
Okay, so we had a silent party for kids at my job.
yeah.
It's about 200 children, and they had little plastic Easter eggs for them hidden all over the venue. So I kind of came up a little bit.
Yeah.
I'm just, screw those kids. I'll take their candy from them. They don't need it.
Look
And
out, kids.
no, seriously, it was fun, and it was really cool to hear the little kids like freak out with the headphones, and they had bags and throwing bags and face
That's
painting and
cool.
all kinds of things. But ask your service worker friends the worst thing to clean up in a music venue, and they will tell you popcorn. And luckily for me,
Oh yeah.
I wasn't
I
regulated to
worked
popcorn.
I worked at a movie theater when I was in my
Oh
early
my,
20s.
it is
So
the worst.
very
Popcorn,
familiar.
popcorn is unforgiving in the pantheon of garbage that can be left on the floor.
And you know what's even worse than cleaning up popcorn is having to clean the popcorn machine that's been running hot oil and
Oh
salts
yeah,
and
oh
all
yeah.
that all day.
That is something. That's a specialty job. You have to pace it. That
Yeah,
there should be like a category, clean up this crap, for people who like doing that type of stuff.
yeah,
And we had a child that, okay, I'm almost 6 feet tall. This child was at least 6'1", and by child I mean he was a child. He may have been 12 years old. He was a big boy, and he got sick. Now we had adults there, of course, because it's not the mall. You can't just drop your kid off where there's alcohol. So we had a
sure.
bartender and everything. And I kept going, did this kid, what did he drink? Juice? What happened to him? And he got sick, and it was and guess we had to clean that up. That was fine. I haven't had to clean up a child's sickness in many a year, and I was not happy about it.
It's
But I did it.
not
I did it.
not fun.
I did it because I punch a clock and I earned my loot. But it wasn't fun. And no one cares that I did it. And I just told this story anyway, just to eat up a little bit more time before we get started with the show. Anyway, glad everybody had a good weekend. Glad that you guys had a good weekend. We got a lot to talk about later in sports too. Man, it's been a wild week. But first, you're here with us live on Backchannel.tv, and it's the only place on your Echo device where you can watch and listen to live shows and chat with us, hosts like me and Liv and Jam and Renee and everybody in real time. This is The Drive with Mario Smith, right? You can catch me here every Thursday. What? No, that's the other show. You catch me here Monday through Wednesday and on Friday from 4 p.m. Eastern time. And just go backwards from there. 4 p.m. Eastern, 3 p.m. Central, and 1 p.m. Pacific time. You want to know how to get involved in the show? It's real easy. All you have to do is go to your Amazon supported device. You can ask questions. You can send us a chat. You can chime in on whatever it is that we're talking about. And if you're watching on Echo Show or Fire TV, the magic word is say T-Rex or Flexa or Anexa. I'm failing miserably, Bliss. and say hello and do your thing. And if you're just listening to us right now on an Echo speaker and you can't see me, please go to backchannel.tv, join the chat, click everything, and once again for you, that's backchannel.tv, and subscribe as well. And thank you for joining the show. And let's see who's back here now. Many people. August, who says they have a joke for me. And then the whole "It's a Me Mario," dude. It's that or lady. Stop. Uh, Verona, Nutty Aphid. Verona's in New Hampshire, by the way. Marty's in California. Hosea and London are here as well. Check it out if you're interested, which you should be because you're here. And I'm going to try to shorten this up as quickly as I can. Haley and Alice's Good Morning begins at 6 a.m. Eastern Time, and that's when the broadcast day begins for Backchannel. You can catch Liv every day, Liv Harrison, from 8 a.m. Eastern, and then it's Katie, except for Tuesday and Thursday. I'm sorry. It's Kate and Will on Tuesdays and Thursdays from 9 a.m. I almost called her Katie. I don't know her like that. I'm sorry, Kate. I apologize. 10 a.m. It's Get On Up with Jam and Renee, our friends out on the East Coast and West Coast. They're spread out. Anthony Davis, the Anthony Davis Show is at noon, and our buddy, your pal Hal Rudnick, is at 2 p.m. Eastern Time. And again, you can catch us Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 4 Eastern. Okay, I think we did it. I'm curious about this joke that August has, but I'm not that curious. There you go, August. Welcome to the show. Let's take a look at the headlines real quick. A federal judge in Florida has voided the national mask mandate covering airplanes and other public transportation as exceeding the authority of U.S. health officials in the coronavirus pandemic. The decision today by U.S. District Judge Catherine Kimball Mizell in Tampa, an appointee of former President Donald Trump, also said the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention improperly failed to justify its decision and did not follow proper rulemaking. In a 59-page ruling, Mizell said the only remedy was to vacate the rule entirely across the country because it would be impossible to end it for the limited group of people who objected in the lawsuit. The judge said, quote, a limited remedy would be no remedy at all, close quote, and that the courts have full authority to make a decision such as this, even if the goals of the CDC in fighting the virus are laudable. And finally, reigning Olympic champion Paris Jepchirchir capped the celebration of a half century of women in the Boston Marathon with a finish to top them all. The 28-year-old Kenyan won a seesaw sprint down the stretch today, really early this morning if you're on the East Coast, when the world's oldest and most prestigious annual marathon returned to its traditional spring start for the first time since the onset of the coronavirus pandemic. On the 50th anniversary of the first official women's race, Jepchirchir traded places with Ethiopia's Ababel Yesmane 8 times in the final mile before pulling ahead for good on Boylston Street and finishing in 2 hours, 21 minutes, and 1 second. Jepchirchir said, I was feeling she was strong. I pushed it. She also earned $150,000 and the traditional gilded olive wreath to go with her Olympic gold medal and 2021 New York City Marathon title. She says, I fell behind, but I didn't lose hope. And those are the headlines at the top of the hour. When we come back, we'll have more news and talk to you and me and Glistle chat. And we'll, again, recap more of our Easter weekend fun and games. And thank you, Complex Aardvark and Deborah, who's in Wisconsin, her first time here on the show. Thanks, Deborah. Really appreciate you being here. And everybody that's checking us out on the drive. Thank you, passengers. We'll be back in just a moment. It's The Drive with Mario Smith here on Backchannel.tv, YouTube, and on your Amazon-supported devices. And we will be right back. Welcome back, everybody. It's the drop on Backchannel.tv. Today is you know what day. If wait a minute, hold on. I've got to shut someone up really quickly. There we no, they're not. There they are. Quiet. Sorry, gang. It's tax day in the United States. You know what that means. It means you need to do your taxes if you haven't done them yet. And if I may, uh, if you try to sit, I'll tax your seat. If you get too cold, I'll tax the heat. And if you take a walk, I'll tax your feet. It's from a remarkably great song called Tax Man. It's on the Revolver album by the Beatles. Get it, kid. The 2022 tax deadline is here. It's today, and it's the final day to file your 2021 taxes or feel them if you want. If you aren't able to file or if you missed the deadline, which is midnight today, make sure you know your options going forward, what the penalties are, and what your next steps should be. From filing a tax extension and penalties if you missed the deadline to tax refunds, here's what you need to know. If you file your taxes tomorrow, for example, you may get hit with a failure to file penalty. According to the IRS, the failure to file penalty applies if you don't file your tax return by the due date. The penalty you must pay as a percentage of the taxes you didn't pay on time. The amount you may have to pay is calculated by how late you file your tax return and the amount of unpaid tax as of the original payment due date. Interest can also be charged on a penalty. If your return is over 60 days late, the minimum failure to file penalty is $435 for tax returns required to be filed in 2020, 2021, and 2022, or 100% of the tax required to be shown on the return, whichever is less. Now, what happens if you can't afford to pay your taxes when you file? If you can't pay your taxes when you file your taxes, you might get hit with a failure to pay penalty. According to the IRS, the failure to pay penalty applies if you don't pay the tax you report on your tax return by the due date or approved extended due date. The penalty you must pay is a percentage of the taxes you didn't pay. However, if you aren't able to pay your taxes on the day they are due, you may qualify for an online payment plan, including an installment agreement that allows you to pay off an outstanding balance over time. Once your online application is complete, you'll receive immediate notification of whether your payment plan has been approved. And also, the IRS is suggesting that you don't try to do a paper, I almost said ballot. You don't try to do a paper. I thought someone was trying to come in my door. You don't try to do a paper return. Do it electronically at this point because it will be easier for them to process it. And the IRS is mad behind. Figure that. You missed the deadline to file your taxes or feel them. Can you file for a tax exemption? Yes, you can, but as long as you request to file an extension by tax deadline day. So extension requests must be filed no later than the regular due date of your return. In other words, today would be the day to file an extension, not tomorrow. Today. And the extension, according to the IRS, is simply a 6-month extension of your taxes. However, it does not grant you an extension to pay your taxes. You still have to pay them on time to avoid any penalties or interest, and on and on and on. So look, if you haven't had a chance to file your taxes yet, and you're watching this show, man, your time is ticking. B, would be a good idea for you to do that. But if you didn't do it on time, I was a procrastinator this year. Normally, I'm good. Like February, bam. As soon as I get my W-2, I'm filing because I want to get it over with because I don't want to be doing what I did today. But there are a bunch of procrastinators out there, right? So there are 3 things that are certain: life, death, and taxes. Oh, sorry. And also make that 4. People waiting till the last minute to file their tax returns. On average, about 29% of individual tax returns are received in the 3 weeks leading up to tax day. Today is tax day. And you got you got some time, right? That's like 43 million returns. I just made that number up. No, I didn't. It's 43. Maybe more last-minute filers this year. Just 91 million returns have been filed through the end of March, down about 12.2 million from 2019, or 12%, according to pre-pandemic tax data. The IRS will typically accept tax returns in late January. Last year, it had a late start of February 12th. The COVID-19 pandemic and the subsequent recession have scrambled tax deadlines in recent years. In 2020, the federal government extended the filing deadline from its traditional April 15th date, tax date, big day, to July 15th. This year, the deadline was moved to May 17th. No, actually, this is wrong. It's today. So, if you haven't filed your taxes, today is the day. Make it happen. Stop playing. And let's find out. By the way, before we do that, a tax extension might be worth asking for, and it's better than rushing a return. And this is from the Associated Press. Today is, in fact, tax day, federal deadline for individual tax filing and payments. And the IRS expects everybody and their mother to file taxes now, as opposed to having done it like smart people do well in advance. Or like Bliss, who did his taxes and said, I'll just send them. And now he's like, when this show is over, I got to get down and get dirty with my little hat that, like the bankers wear, and get it going. As of April 8th, for a comparison, last year, more than 169 million people completed an income tax return by the end of the year. That probably leaves about 40% of this year's taxpayers still unaccounted for, with many scrambling to submit documents today. Nina Tross, executive director of the National Society of Tax Professionals, said that if people haven't filed their tax, they're better off filing an extension. But, she added, quote, people don't realize that filing an extension has zero effect, close quote, as long as they have paid their income taxes by tax day. So there you are. Pay your taxes, gang. And with that in mind, and I know this might be Kurt and Gary and Proud Camel and Better Dog. This might be a delicate asp. Gary's in West Virginia, by the way. Proud Camel, all of you guys. This might be a fruitless task, but I'm going to ask, if you are listening to us on Backchannel or watching us on one of your many devices like YouTube or whatever, did you file your taxes yet? A Y for yes, I did. An N for no, I did not. You can do that by going to your Amazon supported device, Renexa, and by allowing yourself to get into the chat and just leave us with a yes or a no, or if you're typing it in, a Y or an N, and we will talk about those results shortly. I think in the pantheon of stuff that you should do, let me take that back, because I'm kind of troubled by the for example, I got a return. I'm going to get something back, but that's my money to begin with, right? Isn't it? Gliss, help me. Isn't that already our money when we get a return? It's like, oh, wow, the money you took from me, you're going to give me back some of it. Hey, thank you. Appreciate you for giving me back my money instead of just letting me have the money.
Yeah, that's my understanding.
That's weird. It's always
just
been
like
weird.
your overpayment for taxes. Isn't that what it is?
Yeah. I guess. But then just why are we doing this? Why do we keep doing this? And is it helping? I don't want to seem, like I'm trying to start something, because I'm not. I mean, I did it. I did what I had to do. Another thing, I owe money to the state of Illinois. They should be paying me. I'm Mario Smith. They should be giving me money. But I can cover it, I think. I can cover it today, though. And that was troubling, because along with having to pay for my return, I'm like, man, I got to pay these jokers money. I'm not giving them any money. So anyway, I said all that to say, get it together, America, and pay your taxes. My man Michael Lockett, co-host of the Who You Got podcast, said yes, he paid his taxes. He is also a big-time family man, so I'm pretty sure that he did. Gary said yes with an exclamation point. Maryland, the whole state of Maryland is here, and it's their first time on the show. Oh, Maryland is in New Hampshire. Something tells me that the name got spelled wrong. Hey, Maryland. So yeah, if you did pay your taxes, yes. If you didn't, I guess I should have had a third option. Do you plan on paying your taxes? Question mark. Yeah, but get it together. Let's go. We gotta do it. It's tax time. We don't have time to play games. Busy weekend in the United States. Four major shootings across the United States took place over the Easter weekend. A party in Pittsburgh left two 17-year-olds and several others injured. Two 17-year-olds dead, I'm sorry, and several others injured. In Portland, Oregon, a shooting left one person dead and three minors injured. The violence comes after President Joe Biden announced tougher gun regulations last week in the wake of multiple mass shootings. Pittsburgh police said in a statement yesterday that officers were called to the reportedly just after a.m. at an Airbnb rental property. When they arrived, additional shots were heard in the immediate area, and several young people were seen fleeing the area on foot and in vehicles. But at least 10 people were injured in the incident. Two of them, Jaden Brown and Matthew Steffi Ross, both 7, were pronounced dead at a hospital. The Allegheny County Medical Examiner's Office confirmed to NBC News where this work comes from. Other gunshot victims were hospitals by first responders arrived at hospitals in and outside the city on their own. He said that as many as 200 people underage were at a party in a short-term rental property when many as 50 rounds went off, the shots were believed to have been fired from inside the property, prompting some partygoers to jump out of windows, sustaining injuries including broken bones and lacerations. Police have asked anyone with information on the shooting to come forward. At a shooting in Portland, Oregon on Sunday, one person is dead and three minors injured, according to the Portland Police Bureau. The Bureau said in a statement that police have been called to reports of a shooting just after 8:40 p.m. local time. That's 11:40 Eastern. And on Sunday night, when they arrived, they found one man dead and three boys with gunshot wounds. The three boys were transported to area hospitals with one sustaining life-threatening injuries. Police said his status was not clear as of early Monday morning. And in South Carolina, gunfire broke out at a nightclub in Hampton County on Sunday, a day after gunfire erupted at a mall in the state's capital, Columbia, around 90 miles north. At least 9 people were injured in the shooting at Kyra's Lounge in Hampton County. South Carolina State Law Enforcement Division told the Associated Press. It came after at least 9 people sustained gunshot wounds in the shooting at the Columbiana Center in the capital on Saturday, with victims' ages ranging from 15 to 73, according to the Columbia Police Department. At least 5 others sustained separate injuries, including broken bones, lacerations, and a head injury while trying to flee the mall, police said. And not for nothing, I think it was midnight, a little bit after midnight, maybe midnight 30 here in Chicago, literally across the street from where I live, there was a shootout. Nobody was murdered in said shootout. A guy got grazed in his neck, which leads me to believe they were shooting out for real. They were going for it. No one arrested in the shootout. I don't know why. And I've got friends that have been victims of gun violence. There's no doubt. I don't know why we have this delicate dance around gun control and really, 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 really talking about why this is a horrible thing. In Chicago, for example, the number of young people who've been murdered is sky high due to gun violence, higher than I think it's ever been. I was kind of, and I mean, Bliss, your oldest children were little kids when Sandy Hook happened, if they were born at all, actually. And
yeah, they were very young. They were
super little.
Yeah, like before preschool, basically.
Yeah. And when that happened, and the United States didn't move on gun control then, I said, oh, so they don't care if little kids get killed.
Right.
They kind of just went, we're good. I like you, and even though, again, I say this so much, it feels like I repeat myself. I don't have little children anymore, right? And my godchildren are big. But I worry so much that the collective we, don't really care much about children or old people. We're kind of like
Yeah.
in it for the moment, wherever you're at right now. It's like this is me, it's about me, and the idea that, for example, years ago when I first started doing the show, there was a little girl, Gliss, by the name of Janila Watkins. She was 6 months old, 8 months old, and she got shot to death in a car with her father. Some dude was trying to shoot her father, and instead they killed a baby. And it was relatively quiet. Not the amount of outrage that I was feeling, nor did I see any of it. It was very quiet. Same thing with Sandy Hook. Very quiet. People were upset, yeah, of course, because why? How could you not be upset? But
Right.
really quiet. So on a weekend, Easter weekend of all weekends, you have this amount of violence. Everybody's like, "Oh, they're mass shootings." It's been mass shootings. We had
Right.
one, and Congress had an opportunity to do something, yet they continue to refuse to do anything about it. One of these days, I would like to be able to have this conversation on a larger scale with someone about why Congress is so reluctant to do their job, and why. And I get it, lobbyists, gun lobbyists, all that. But come on, man, a whole country of children getting shot up, and that's okay. I don't get it. I let's color me ignorant, but I don't get it. I
No,
really do not understand
it's
that.
really sad. I was a sophomore in high school when Columbine happened, and I remember that very well because it feels like that was really the time period where things started to change and we started to see a lot of this. I didn't have
Mm-hmm.
to deal, we had, earthquake drills and stuff like that when I was a kid, but today, like, even my 8-year-olds knows, the difference. They do lockdown drills, lockout drills. There's, all these different things that they have to be aware of, and things they have to do. And that's pretty sad and kind of scary when we
Yeah,
have to accept that the children have to deal with that just, when they're going to school. And you're right. I mean, it's like, if we didn't have change from Sandy Hook, then there's not a lot of hope. And I'm not someone who's like, super anti-gun or anything. I think it's just, for me, the problem has always been is we have it's more of a mentality that we have as Americans,
right.
where it's like, it's such a, the Second Amendment is propped up so much that there's a lot of people that are unwilling to have a conversation about it.
Yeah,
It's not like, I'm not one of those people that wants to them to come take anybody's guns or do this, that, and the other thing. But I think there is a lot of common sense things we could do that could, make progress in the right direction. And it's sad that we can't even have those conversations.
and again, man, it really came home after Sandy Hook. It's like, damn, we can't even have the conversation about banning guns, or at least being able to figure out who really owns a gun. I mean, there's no regulations or anything. This is all very
Right.
loosey goosey. And hey, you got one, I got one, he's got one, she's got one. And when children die at the hands of gun violence, it's kind of like, oh, it's
And
sad.
yeah, and I hate the argument too, like when we talk about like background checks or registering guns, and like some of these little things that could potentially make a difference. I hear a lot of people say like, well, it's the criminals, they're always going to find, ways to get their hands on gun. So so it's just, we should just do nothing. And
Right.
like, I don't understand how that's like the kind of end all argument where it's just like, well, I think that's not going to do anything, so
Right.
let's just not do anything at all. That doesn't make sense to me. It seems like there is ways that some common ground could be found to try to, diffuse this problem we have as a country.
And by the way, Alex Jones who infamously said that Sandy Hook was a hoax,
Mhm.
has filed for bankruptcy. Idiot. I'm glad. I can't stand that dude, man. I'm glad. I'm glad. You know what? If you got the fortitude to say that that is a hoax, also you said that the coronavirus was a hoax and that the vaccines don't work, and you sell sawdust to people claiming it's supplements and all the other, you know what you do. Screw you, dude. Glad you filed for bankruptcy. I don't have any. You won't get a tip from me. The only tip I give you is I hope you don't go to jail. But if you do, you want to make sure that you keep everything connected to you, like by a rope or something like that. And jail will be the least of your worries. Um, let's round this up really quickly. If you're a Lucky Charms eater, I'm sorry. Oh, I'm sorry, but that's not the story. The FDA is investigating Lucky Charms after reports of illness. The Food and Drug Administration is investigating Lucky Charms cereal after dozens of customers complained of illness after eating it. On Saturday, the FDA has said it has received more than 100 complaints related to Lucky Charms so far this year. Quote, the FDA takes seriously any reports of possible adulteration of a food that may also cause illnesses or injury, the agency said in a statement. Lucky Charms is making people. Several hundred people have also posted on a food safety website, iwaspoisoned.com. That's iwaspoisoned.com, complaining of nausea, diarrhea, and vomiting after eating Lucky Charms. General Mills, the Minneapolis based company that makes Lucky Charms, Cheerios, and other cereals, said it's aware of those reports and takes them seriously. But the company said its own investigation has not found any evidence of consumer illness linked to Lucky Charms. General Mills said it encourages consumers to share their concerns directly with the company, i.e., don't go on Twitter, don't go on social media. Tell us about it, please. Please. Um, couple more. Magic Mush. Anyone familiar? I'm the only one? Really? Really? Me by myself? I'm the only person that knows what those are? No. Veterans say yes to magic mushrooms to help in terms of therapy for them. And I can imagine that would work. Matthew Butler spent 27 years in the Army, but it took a day in jail to convince him his post-traumatic stress disorder was out of control. The recently retired Green Beret had already tried antidepressants, therapy, and a support dog, but his arrest for punching a hole in his father's wall after his family tried to stage an intervention in Utah made it clear none of it was working. Matthew says, I had a nice house, I had a great job, whatever, but I was unable to sleep, had frequent nightmares, crippling anxiety, avoiding crowds. He said my life was a wreck. He eventually found psychedelics, and he says they changed his life. To quote Matthew, I was able to finally step way back, and I see what's going on here. I get it now. He's 52, by the way. Today, his run-ins with police have ended. He's happily married and reconciled with his parents. Butler, who lives in the Salt Lake City suburbs, is among military veterans in several U.S. states, helping to pursue lawmakers to study psychedelic mushrooms for therapeutic use. Yes, please. Why not? I mean, I know why not, but why not? And then finally, and then I'll stop yapping for a minute. A Big Mac. It's an American staple. It's the sandwich of all sandwiches. If you're a fast foodie, I guess still. The average price of a Big Mac in the United States is $5.94. To that I say, shut the hell up. You got to be kidding me. I wouldn't pay $5.94 for any of that. No. It's a 15.1 year-over-year increase in the producer price index, which measures the cost of domestic goods, as well as a 12.1% increase in average hourly earnings for restaurant employees. The high prices are being driven by the rising cost of food and labor, according to a report from Axios. Big Mac prices have risen by a whopping 40% in the past 10 years. Menu prices vary across the country and even within cities. So Axios did a local city thing. In Austin, Texas, where the minimum wage is $7.25 an hour, the cheapest Big Mac in the Axios survey, $3.75. 200 miles down the road in Dallas, with the same minimum wage, a Big Mac is selling for $5.69. In Seattle, where the minimum wage is $17.27 an hour, the priciest Big Mac is $6.39. A Big Mac in San Francisco, where the minimum wage is $16.32 an hour, it's $5.79. In New York, where the minimum wage is $15 an hour, a Big Mac can be found on Broadway for $4.95. In Richmond, Virginia, where the minimum wage is $11 an hour, it's $4.89 for a Big Mac, just 10 cents less than the people in New York. And that's just the burger. No fries, no drink, no toy, no nothing. I don't know about you. One, I haven't eaten one of those things in forever. And two, it ain't happening. It's just simply not going to happen. Thanks to everybody that's checking us out. It's The Drive with Mario Smith, and we're here every weekday, Monday through Wednesday and Friday. And we start at 4 Eastern time. And send us a chat. If you can see me right now and you're watching on Echo Show or Fire TV, the magic word is say Alexa, say hello, and get in where you fit in and join us. Fragile Gopher, Absent Horse, Riley, all those folks are here joining us too. And if you have a no name on your thing, you can always go back and put your name in. We like that. We'd also like to know where you're watching and listening from. Skirt says, yeah, it's been over 15 years since he's been to a Burger King. And I can't imagine how long it's been since I walked in one and ordered a burger. I can make them myself at home. When we come back, we'll have our community report. It happens to be Skirt's favorite segment. And we'll do all that in just a moment. It's The Drive with Mario Smith here on Backchannel.tv, YouTube, and on your Amazon supported device. We're a little behind. We'll be right back right after these words. $5.96 for a Big Mac. Hey, passengers, if you do eat that stuff, let me know how much a Big Mac is in your city, how much it costs. Just a Big Mac, no fries, no none of that extra stuff. Not like they have a lot of extra. The ice cream machines. The ice cream machine never works. But how much does it cost for you to enjoy a 2 all beef patty, special sauce, lettuce, cheese, pickles, onions on a sesame seed bun sandwich? $5.96 is excessive. I ain't doing it. Apple workers in the flagship store in New York City take steps to unionize. Workers at Apple's flagship store in Grand Central Terminal have taken steps toward forming a union. If organizers were successful, this would be the first Apple retail store to unionize, per the Washington Post, which first reported on the move Saturday. The Pacific Blue Collar Organizing Committee said in the website update that workers at the Manhattan store voted on February 21st to affiliate with Workers United, a national labor union that the site notes has helped Starbucks workers successfully unionize across the U.S. The website says that Apple stores in the United States are organizing, and Washington Post reports that workers at least 3 other of the iPhone makers' retail stores in the U.S. are moving to unionize. Grand Central is an extraordinary store with unique working conditions that make a union necessary to ensure our team has the best possible standards of living in what have proven to be extraordinary times, per the website. The site links out to a report on Apple temporarily closing in-store shopping in North America locations, including New York City last December due to COVID, and an article on inflation reaching a new 40-year high in February to support its point. Apple hasn't confirmed whether or not it would support moves by its workers to unionize, but said in a statement to the Washington Post that the company is fortunate to have incredible retail team members and we deeply value everything they bring to Apple. We are pleased to offer very strong compensation and benefits for full-time and part-time employees, including health care, tuition reimbursement, new parental leave, paid family leave, annual stock grants, and many other benefits, the statement said. Among all the tech companies, Apple is known for being the most secretive and imposing strict limits on what Apple workers can say or do, suggesting a union push would be seen as most unwelcome. At the same time, the company may worry that any heavy handed anti union tactics could hurt the company's public image. I'm from Chicago, man. That's pro union for me all the time. I know that's a terrible thing to say on this network, but I'm pro union. I can't help that I am what I am. Uh, there's a necessity for it, and we can get it. Hey, Gliss, you can hop on in here on this one. But this is the best story I could find all day. A woman from Melrose crashed into headstones at Wyoming Cemetery on Saturday while she was practicing driving with her
Nice.
learner's permit. First of all, the hell are you teaching a child to drive? Or not a child. I'm sorry, this is a grown woman. She was 53 years old. How are you teaching anyone to drive a car in a cemetery?
Yeah, that
What?
doesn't seem like a good spot.
No.
It's like, but
There's
she
no part of the cemetery that this is
like
cool.
training to be a stunt driver or like like seems like a parking lot or somewhere without obstruction every 15 feet would be a better choice.
Right. It's a cemetery. It's a cemetery. And she's just do oh, oops. How much damage did this car get? What the woman 53 was with a licensed relative when she crashed the Range Rover they were in. Neither of them was her. She's in a Range. She's not in a tiny car. And man, oh my God. She just knocked over a whole cemetery's worth of headstones. Why is Several headstones were damaged, but the Department of Public Works was able to get all of them back upright in their original spaces. It's believed the woman lost control of the car when she hit the headstones, but the crash is still under investigation. Well, you know what? You don't need to call Scooby Doo. I got you on the investigation. What the hell is she doing in a cemetery? Who was the licensed driver that thought, honey, this is what we're going to do. I know you're 54 years old and you probably shouldn't be driving a car anymore anyway. You need a driver. But how about we go to a cemetery and I'm going to teach you how to drive at a cemetery. What are we doing? Can I get the what are we doing graphic, please? What are we doing? What are we doing? That's it? A cemetery? That's like driving through a field with landmines. You know what? I'm going to teach you how to drive, but it's a live, active landmine field. And I just want you to know, you hit one of these landmines, kaboom, we're both gone. So let's go. Take off. That's the gas, and there's the brake. Ready? What? In a cemetery. Man, when I saw this morning, I almost hollered. Oh, God. You might as well leave What Are We Doing up, because this next story is no better. A dolphin attacked a trainer and drug her underwater during a show at the Miami Aquarium. His member captured on camera the moment a dolphin turned violent and attacked the trainer last weekend at the Miami Aquarium. Video footage of the incident shared on TikTok shows the trainer struggling to stay afloat as the dolphin Sundance drags her beneath the water. Was there ever a movie about killer dolphins? I somehow remember in my head that there was some kind of movie about dolphins that went the opposite way. When I was growing up, Flipper was a big time. For those of you enough to remember, Flipper was a big time television show in the United States, and this dolphin was friendly, but can talk to people and stuff.
I love dolphins.
Oh my God, you no, because this dolphin was like, oh, the hell with this. And here's part of the story that I really loved. Photographer Shannon Carpenter from Kentucky, who filmed the episode, was visiting the show with her family when the dolphin appeared to become aggressive. The kids were cheering and thinking this was neat. You could tell the adults knew something was wrong. You think she just got dragged into the water? A dolphin trainer accidentally collided in the water on Saturday while performing routine behavior as part of the flipper show. This was an uncomfortable interaction for both of them, and the dolphin reacted by breaking away from the routine and striking the trainer. The dolphin was also not injured. No kidding. That dolphin was like, yo, you're invading my space. You hit me. That dolphin got Will Smith. I'm sorry, got Chris Rocked by Will Smith. It's too soon for that. Why'd you do that? You could have gone in a different direction than that. That was bad. But anyway, hey, yeah, stop exploiting dolphins. Leave them alone. I love dolphins, Gliss. I'm with you. I think they're awesome. But, I mean, come on. But
well, I guess every once in a while one goes rogue, you know.
It's the Siegfried and Roy of like shows is down there at the Flipper show.
Because that's not a common thing. People swim with dolphins. I've actually when I was in high school, I got the chance to swim with a couple dolphins. I will say they are pretty damn scary when you're close to them. Because you can tell that they're smart as hell. Like they were literally just messing with you. Like they'll just like all of a sudden you won't know where they are, and then you're like swimming along and you like feel a presence, like someone stalking you from the back, and they would they'd like cross over underneath your stomach and like cross under you and then jump in the air and they are pretty intimidating, I will say that.
Man, look, no way.
They're fast and smart and big.
and super fast. Like you. I'm trying to see if there are any dolphin movies, and I'm not getting anything.
If there isn't, you might have to start one.
Man, I think it's a good wing of our show where we could just like green light movies.
Spitball ideas.
Yeah, why not? But believe me, when we talk about this one movie that came out this weekend that no one saw, the Killer Dolphin movie makes a lot of sense. This is the story of the year, though. So far, what are we? April.
Today. I will say today when I looked at the community report, I was like, man, there's like 4 like really fun stories in here today.
All winners. Here it is. Some parents are outraged after learning a kindergartner brought alcohol to school and shared it with classmates. According to NBC 15 in Michigan, the students shared a bottle of Jose Cuervo mixed with 10% alcohol content with 4 students at Grand Rapids Academy before a teacher stepped in to stop it. One parent, Alexis Smith, told the outlet she got a call from the school alerting her that her daughter was one of them. Quote, there were so many thoughts running through my mind like, oh my God, what if it was before the girl brought it to school? How much was it? She said. Fox 2 reported that Smith's daughter had 4 or 5 sips and felt woozy and a little dizzy. The students were under the impression.
I shouldn't be laughing.
Me neither, but I can't help it. This is great. The students were under the impression that they were drinking juice during snack time until the child who brought the mixed drink told them it was alcohol. One student then went to tell the teacher what it was, according to Fox 2. That kid's going to get chased down by that other little kid. Remember when you told on me when I brought the tequila? I knew what I was doing. While we try to keep an eye on everything our students bring, that's simply not possible. It's unfortunate that these type of adult beverages can be easily mistaken for child-friendly drinks, a statement from the school said, according to the outlet. Smith told Fox 2 she wasn't mad at the child who brought the alcohol, but the child's parents should be punished. Quote, if your child knows what it is, nothing wrong with it, but they should know not to touch it, she said, that it's not for kids. My dream come true. A little kindergartner got a little sense of adventure in him, or her, or him, or her. Hey guys, I've got some tequila. What? I know. I'm only 6. Tequila's gonna be delicious. It's snack time. or the child goes, it goes down. It's snack time. You ready? Man, when I saw that, oh, that's also very good. My
For
secret
real
dream.
though, where were the parents? Like, how did this kid get alcohol to school? And how and not only that, like, not only how did the kid get it there, but
Boss baby.
what was
That kid's
happening at
really.
the time
We need to
that
check
he
what
was
that
allowed to
kid.
take something out of his backpack like that? Like,
We need to check what that kid was wearing. Did he have on a suit? Was he like talking like an adult? Then it's boss baby. Boss baby needed a
yeah,
drink.
boss baby.
It's boss baby. Boss baby needed a drink in between, learning how to properly write on the dotted lines for letters and playing with each other in cooperation times. Like, this is a little bit too much for me. I need a drink. It's snack time. It goes.
Take the edge off.
I take the edge off. I'm having a hell of a day here in kindergarten. This is driving me crazy. I got to get out of here. Oh, man. Oh, wait a minute. I remember. That's right. I packed it last night. Nobody was looking. Ooh-wee. Nobody checked this child's bag. Wait a minute, though. Did he or she put it in that bag? Or maybe the parents are like, you know what, Billy? Today's the day you learn. I know you're 6. Screw that. Go ahead. Drink it. Drink all of it. Drink as much as you can. We'll see how you act in the day when you get home. Incredible.
Yeah, it seems like a major failure on the part of the parents there.
Everybody's going to jail. I will keep my eye on that for follow up because somebody is calling the child services on those parents. Little Billy, on the other hand, is a hero at his school. Little Billy brought some tequila with 10% alcohol. Dude, I think it might have been like a margarita, like the Cuervo margarita is what Billy brought to school. When we come back, it only gets better. It's hour 2 of the drive here on Backchannel.tv. Backchannel.tv, YouTube, and on your Amazon supported devices. Shout out to Billy. We'll be back right after these words. What's up, everybody? It's Mario Smith, and you're watching The Drive with Mario Smith. It's the irony here on Backchannel.tv, and the only place on your Echo device where you can watch and listen in real time to live shows and chat with the hosts. Again, this is The Drive with Mario Smith, and my producer, Jay Bliss, is in Portland, Oregon, and you can catch me and him every day, Monday through Friday. No, you can't. Not on Thursdays, Monday through Wednesday, and on Friday at 4 p.m. Eastern Time. Gliss, what's going on, my man?
Not much.
Man, I need to run into that baby that brought that tequila to that school. I'm thirsty.
I think you're right. I think it was. It was that nasty pre-mixed
Probably
margarita stuff. Yeah.
Hey, what do you got? What do you got for lunch today? I got chicken salad. What do you got? I got Jose Cuervo.
Trade that for the goldfish.
What do you got? You got what? What's Jose Cuervo? Don't worry about it. What do you got? Matter of fact, the first one's free. I got you. Don't worry. I got ice too. I got little tongs and everything. That little smart boy. What do you got? I got a ding dong. I got Jose Cuervo. And it's just the most bizarre thing I've ever heard. You can get involved in the show by sending us a chat. You can ask questions, chime in on what we're talking about, or anything else you want. You can just say to your Amazon supported device, we call her T Rex around here, just to get in and do all that. And don't forget, you're watching us on Backchannel. That's BACK channel, CHANNEL.TV. And thank you guys for watching us on the stream. Let's see who's here. Fiery Anteater, Roy, and a whole bunch of no names, and London. And I don't mean to offend you by saying no name. That's just what I see on the screen. It says no name. You can go back and add your name and add where you're from too. We really appreciate knowing who and what and where are people checking us out from. We can go over the headlines really quickly. Today is tax day. Don't forget to file your taxes if you haven't. Some are saying that an extension might be better than rushing a return. And also, it's entertainment news, but it is noteworthy. The TV show Blackish ends its 8-season run on ABC. Headline, yeah, I guess it's a thing though. It's cemented its place in the history of American television. Tracy's in Texas. Cold Skunk. Cold Skunk is here. Hey, Cold Skunk. It's Tracy's first time checking out the show. Thank you, Tracy. How you doing? Welcome and thanks for watching. When we come back, we will have the entertainment report. It's The Drive with Mario Smith here on Backchannel.tv. And we'll be back right after these messages. Hey, everybody, have no fear. Cameras here. We start our entertainment report. I don't know how many of you folks check out Howard Stern or get a chance to listen to Howard. He's been doing tribute to Gilbert Gottfried all weekend on the satellite channel. And Gilbert Gottfried was a weirdo. And you forget, or some of us may forget, some folks may not forget, just how much Gilbert Gottfried was to so many people, particularly in the 80s and the 90s. He was a big deal, and very funny, very raunchy. But the more you hear people talk about him, they talk about him being this really nice guy. He just had this really rough exterior where he just seemed to not care much about anything or anyone, and told some of the most raunchiest jokes you could possibly tell. Yeah, it's wild. You when you start seeing a person's catalog and what they've amassed in the time that they were alive, once they make the transition, it's a lot. Just thought I'd throw that in there. How many of you folks went to go see Fantastic Beasts this weekend? Apparently not a lot. The movie only made $43 million. I mean, I guess that's a lot of people, but in terms of the franchise itself, it fell short of the opening weekend domestic sales for the previous two installments, 2016's Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them, with $74 million, and 2018's Fantastic Beasts, The Crimes of Grindelwald, which made $62 million. Paul, oh boy, this is a good one here, Bliss. This will be in the blooper. I'm going to try to say it, and I hope nobody knows him and tells him I messed his name up. It's Paul Dergarabedian. Paul Dergarabedian, a senior media analyst at ComScore, the company that tracks box office data, says we've seen the grosses edge downward with each of the Fantastic Beasts films. This is still another in a long line of number one debuts, however, for films in that orbit in the Harry Potter universe. The film opened in 4,200 locations in North America, averaging $10,219 per location, according to Warner Brothers. In some respects, the Fantastic Beasts series has been overshadowed by scrutiny of Harry Potter author J.K. Rowling's views on the transgender community, as well as the domestic abuse allegations against Johnny Depp, who was replaced in the role of Grindelwald by Mads Mikkelsen. Depp has denied the allegations. Sonic the Hedgehog 2, a family friendly video game adaptation in its second week of release, claimed the number two spot, nabbing $30 million in the US and Canada for a cumulative domestic gross of $119.6 million as of yesterday, according to Paramount Pictures. Michael Bay's confusing ass Ambulance, a frenetic thriller starring Jake Gyllenhaal and Yahya Abdul-Mateen II, continued to sputter in its second week in theaters, adding $4 million to its $15.6 million cumulative domestic haul, according to Universal Pictures. The only other major new release playing in theaters this weekend was the Mark Wahlberg religious drama Father Stu, which premiered on Wednesday. The film, a true life tale of a boxer turned priest, picked up $8 million over the 5 days, according to Sony. U.S. movie theaters that struggled during the first 2 years of the pandemic have gotten a boost this year with such hits as The Batman, the adventure tale Uncharted, and the reboot of Scream. The major theater chains are bracing for even larger crowds next month with the releases of two big budget spectacles: Marvel Studios' Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness and Paramount's Top Gun Maverick. Doctor Strange is May 6th, Top Gun Maverick is May 27th. And Gliss, did you see the new Thor trailer today?
I did not. No.
Oh yeah, Guardians of the Galaxy are in it. It's Troy. It's Thor. I almost said Troy. It's Thor, God of Thunder, is the movie, and the Guardians are in it. Yeah,
I love the Guardians.
Great idea that they made that a movie. That was so smart. That was the smartest thing they could have possibly done.
It's so good. The music, the characters, it's definitely up there in Marvel. That and Black Panther, I think, are my two favorite.
Check out that trailer if you get a chance. Good stuff. Real good stuff. Sad news out of Hollywood. Liz Sheridan. You may not know the name, but you know her face. She's the actress best known as Jerry Seinfeld's TV mom. Died at the age of 93. Sheridan passed away in her sleep from natural causes at about 2:30 a.m. in New York. Seinfeld said Sheridan was a joy to work with on the long-running NBC sitcom. He said this in a tweet. Liz was always the sweetest, nicest TV mom a son could ask for. Every time she came home on our show, it was the coziest. Every time she came on our show, it was the coziest feeling for me. So lucky to have known her. Sheridan appeared in 21 episodes of Seinfeld between 1990 and 1998, playing the lead character's protective Florida living mom, Helen Seinfeld. Her death comes the week after the passing of fellow Seinfeld alum Estelle Harris, who played Estelle Costanza, mother of Jerry's sidekick, George Costanza. While best known for Seinfeld, Sheridan had myriad other credits that included a recurring role on NBC's Alf as Mrs. Ochmonek and various Broadway productions, most notably alongside Meryl Streep in Happy End. She also penned Dizzy and Jimmy, a book chronicling her life as a young dancer and her relationship with James Dean. Oh my Lord, just learning of the passing of Liz Sheridan, tweeted Jason Alexander, who played George. She was as gracious and graceful a person and actress as you'll ever meet. Fascinating life, wonderful lady, rest well. All four actors who played Jerry and George's parents have now passed away. Comedian legend Jerry Stiller, Barney Martin, Estelle, and now Elizabeth Ann Sheridan. Elizabeth Ann Sheridan was born on April 10, 1929, is survived by her daughter and her son-in-law. Better Call Saul is back from Wednesday. Are you a Better Call Saul? I meant to ask when we were talking about this the other day. Are you a Better Call Saul guy? I like
it. I didn't. It's kind of. It's like one of those shows, though. Like I was into it, I liked it, and then I stopped for some reason, and so I was not. I was almost finished with the first season.
Yeah.
So I haven't watched past that.
I gotta say, it's not that I don't like the show because I do. I don't watch it enough though. I'm not as drawn
Yeah,
into it as I was Breaking Bad. But what I do like is that they bring those characters to kind of like come back into Better Call Saul. Bob Odenkirk is the man. It doesn't matter what he does. I love every
yeah,
bit of his acting chops, man. He's good. And the fact
yeah.
that Better Call Saul has stayed on for as long as it has is pretty cool too. Um, but in the story by MC News, Bob Odenkirk chose his words carefully. The actor comedian said, I now know what happens, of course, and I would love to talk about it with you." But it doesn't sound like he's going to talk about any of it. It might seem strange that the final 13 episodes of Better Call Saul are dotted with so many question marks ahead of the season premiere tonight on AMC. The show is a prequel to one of the most popular series of the last quarter century, which means millions of people around the world already know that Odenkirk's character, the low rent Albuquerque huckster and hapless public defender Jimmy McGill, transforms into the flashy, flamboyant drug lawyer known as Saul Goodman on Breaking Bad. But the writers of Better Call Saul have always had more tricks up their pinstripe sleeves. In the course of 50 intricately written episodes, co creators Vince Gilligan and Peter Gould have hooked viewers on a gallery of characters who do not even appear on Breaking Bad, as far as we know. What fate will befall the besieged cartel lieutenant Nacho Vargo, played by Michael Mando? Jimmy's ethically malleable partner, Kim Wexler, played by Rhea Seehorn. The white shoe attorney, Howard Hamlin. Patrick Fabian is the guy who plays that. How exactly do their rich storylines intersect with the saga of Walter White, Bryan Cranston, the meth cooking anti hero who started it all? Odenkirk says, I think the ways in which Breaking Bad and Better Call Saul are tied together in our final season will be a great satisfaction for all the fans, Odenkirk said. Gould, for his part, recently confirmed that the final season will feature guest appearances from Cranston and Aaron Paul, the Emmy Award winning actor who played Jesse Pinkman. Better Call Saul, like its smash hit predecessor, takes place in a decidedly shabby milieu. Life on the margins of early 2000s Albuquerque, a parched landscape of rundown strip malls, stucco motels, and kindergartners who hand out tequila to their friends at lunch. I'm sorry, that's not in there. I just can't stop thinking about that. And cheap office trailers in the middle of the desert. Jimmy McGill starts off living in a utility closet in the back of a nail salon where he tries and fails to break good as an above board lawyer, but finds more lucrative opportunities as a scam artist and fixer for some of the city's most wretched criminals. Better Call Saul premieres tonight on AMC. Final season. Catch it. I'm sure Giant Cougar, Juliet, Arizona, Mysterious Lynx, they're going to watch it. Nate, Outrageous Deer, Teresa, they're all going to watch it. They're all watching us right now. You see that segue, Gliss? That's pro stuff. Sure.
That was good. That was good.
Thank you. Yeah. Told you I did it together the second hour. I just didn't know how. I know now. I got it. I'm in. Somebody who I have always liked, even though I detect strong weirdo energy, but I have always liked her. Pamela Anderson is on Broadway debuting in the play Chicago. And I don't mean I've liked her in like that weird, creepy way. I've always just genuinely liked her. She seems like she's got the weirdo gene in her, but she seems like a nice woman. I don't know. But the thing Hulu did with Pam and Tommy, I don't know how much that's affected her. But Pamela Anderson is debuting on Broadway. That's crazy to me. And she's in Chicago, which means she's got to sing. She's playing Roxy Hart, so she's singing. I guess she can sing. Yeah?
I'd like to see that. Yeah, I'd see that. I like a good Broadway musical. I've seen Chicago before, and be cool to see actors, actresses like that play a role like that.
Yeah, I mean, how bad can it
Pamela
be?
You're right. I mean, she does have. Yeah, she was originally Playboy and then Baywatch, so I think we kind of think about her a certain way, but she's always seemed like someone that has a lot of personality and seems reasonably down to earth for someone like her.
And don't get me wrong, I know what she looks like. Clearly, I can see. I'm not,
Right.
Get it? Yeah, there's a lot happening there. But I mean, she's just always. I mean, she's always been on TV. Baywatch was humongous. Plus, I mean, you got to watch any show with the Hoff on it, Mr.
Oh yeah.
Castle. Come on, come on. The one brother that's on a beach in California that works for the lifeguard people. Come on.
I never watched Baywatch that much. It was like always a thing for kids my age, but like I saw,
Baywatch,
I thought a little bit.
that music comes on, Gliss, you know it's time to go to the ocean. Even if you live by a lake, it's time to go to the ocean. We gotta get to the ocean. They're gonna save somebody because somebody drowns every week.
It's funny. There's a guy here. So it's probably like one of the most, like, if you were to think of like a restaurant that kind of like when Portland started to, in like the early 2010s, like started to kind of transform into having a lot of really good restaurants opening up and stuff. There's a restaurant called La Pigeon, and it's probably considered like one of the established, really, really, really good restaurants. And the chef is this guy, Gabriel Rucker.
Mm-hmm.
And I follow him on Instagram because we used to have him on the sports station sometimes. He's like a big sports fan. He's from the Bay Area and all that stuff. And it was funny. He posted a video a couple weeks ago of saying like, mom was out of town, and so he's sitting there. They're having it's like him and his kids watching Baywatch and eating TV dinners.
Nice.
And he's like educating the little ones on some of the stuff that's going on in Baywatch, and it was a pretty hilarious video.
That's good stuff. That's what I'm talking about. Yeah, teach them. Yeah, why not? Why not?
Yeah, it's just like we were talking about on Friday. You got to teach them everything.
Teach them everything, and send them to
the
school
real
with
world.
Don't send them to school with tequila. I'm kidding.
Maybe not the tequila part. Not yet.
What do you got for lunch today? I bet I got something better than what everybody at this table has. But we're in kindergarten. How do you speak so eloquently? How do you know the word eloquently? Maybe you have some of this, and then we'll see how you talk later. I got tequila. Amy Schumer says she's received death threats from people who didn't like her joke about Kirsten Dunst. First of all, who's got Kirsten Dunst's back that tough that they sent a death threat to Amy Schumer? Stop right there. And I'm not even going to read this. This is ridiculous. You mean to tell me Kirsten Dunst is commanding that kind of respect out here on these streets that people are like, I can't believe Amy Schumer pulled that. I'm going to get her. What? Stop it. No. They did a pre-organized thing where she talked stuff to her partner, Jesse Plemons, and she was in on a joke. Everybody was in on a joke, and somebody got mad and tried to threaten this woman's life. Schumer on Howard Stern says she got death threats. She said they were so bad that the Secret Service reached out to me about that bit. That's crazy. I'm like, I think you have the wrong number. This is Amy, not Will. Ooh, burn. The misogyny is unbelievable. Schumer said the Los Angeles Police Department also contacted her because the threats were that serious and that many. The Life and Beth star, 40, poked fun at plenty of celebrities during the Oscars, but as she told Howard Stern, she made sure the people she was joking about were comfortable being targets. Amazing. She also talked a bit about the Chris Rock, Will Smith thing. She says it was so upsetting. People made fun of me for saying that it was traumatizing, but I don't think it was traumatizing for me. I think it was traumatizing for all of us. It just was. Chris Rock's my good friend, like one of my best friends, she said. Rock hasn't spoken extensively in public about the incident since it happened, and when Stern asked Schumer about how Rock should address it going forward, Schumer said she trusts her friend's instincts. Quote, he knows what he's doing. I just have a bad poker face and I need to share what's on my mind in a compulsive way, she said. But I think he's really smart. He's not really addressing it. He's a pro. He's a sweetheart. It is weird that Chris Rock hasn't said anything yet. Or is it weird? Wistful Badger, Nate, Robbie, Fancy Aardvark, Giant Cougar. Oh, hello, Giant. Mysterious Links, Julie. Everybody, thank you so much for watching The Drive. When we come back, we'll have the Dylan T. Pickles Piper Sports Report. Almost bought one of those hats. It's The Drive with Mario Smith here on Backchannel.tv, and we'll be right back. Once again, let me thank everybody for being here on the drive. My name's Mario Smith, and we really hope that you're enjoying the show. There's a couple of ways that you can support the show that will really help me out if you want to be, on the team. If you're watching right now and you see that subscribe button, hit it, and it'll let you know when you subscribe when we're going to go live, and then you can watch it. Also, I got some things coming up in the next few weeks that you guys are going to want to know about, and you'll be able to see it if you are subscribed. Another way you can really help me is leave a review. I went and checked Gliss because I wanted to read reviews today because I've been saying for a week I'm going to read reviews, and nobody's left a review. I need people to leave reviews. So
yeah, I was checking that on Friday. There's not many new reviews lately.
So the show goes on the reviews, positive and negative. Once again, go to backchannel.tv and leave this show a review. Please leave us a review. That would be nice. I'm not going to beg, but leave a review. All right, I'm begging. Please leave us. NBA playoff weekend. Ooh-wee. It's getting good already. Jimmy Butler out here fighting that freak that I don't like from Atlanta. The Bulls tried so the game was in their hands to win, and they couldn't pull it through. The Suns looked great. The Celtics got lucky. Kyrie flipped off the fans. Incredible. Tonight's NBA slash WrestleMania, his game 2 with Toronto and Philly. That's 7:30 Eastern time on TNT. Dallas and Utah and Dallas for game 2. That's at 8:30 Eastern time on NBA TV. And then finally Denver at Golden State at 10 p.m. Eastern on TNT. The schedule tomorrow is Atlanta at Miami at 7:30 on TNT, Minnesota at Memphis at 8:30 on NBA TV, and New Orleans at Phoenix at 10 o'clock Eastern on TNT. I watched it. I watched a lot of games this weekend. That Nets Celtics game was a really good one, Gliss. It seems to me that the Nets might be a little tired because they have been on quite the run lately. That stupid play-in game kind of put them in a place. Kyrie Irving went off, but when he goes off by himself, they don't win. I wasn't as upset as some people were with his interaction with the Boston fans. I don't think he should have flipped them the double bird. A single bird, but not the double bird. And people are really mad at him about that. But I think everybody needs to understand that dude is different. Whether he made the right decision in not taking the vaccine or not my decision to make for him. Not my place to say. It is my place to say, actually. I don't think he should have done that. I think he should have taken it. Could have won his team more games if he's actually able to play in more games. But if the fans of Boston were really saying the things that he says they were saying to him, one, at some point, somebody has to make an investigation of that. Maybe those fans don't need to be allowed in the stadium anymore. And two, I would be pretty upset too if somebody was calling me out of my name like that. So I'm not as mad at him about that. What I hope though is that they take this moment to rest because the Nets are going to need it. I think they're going to represent the East in the championship, and Phoenix ain't having it. They're like, whatever. They beating everybody. So I don't know between that and then the Bulls game. Oh, they had that game. Gliss. They had it. They had a 5-point lead, and then they just could not stop shooting from the locker room. It's like, dude, go to the back.
Those are the ones you want to get back in a series like that,
and you might not.
Get the upper hand on a team, that good.
You might not get those games back. In fact,
and I'm with you on Kyrie. I'm with you on Kyrie. I don't really like Kyrie. He's not really a fan of him between the flat Earth and the not taking the vaccine and all that. I just there's just things about him I don't love, but at the same time, I think, as you said, if people are saying those kind of things, and granted, every fan base is going to have, idiots in it. It's just like when it doesn't matter what you're talking about. Like you could take any sample size of fans of anything, and there's going to be different opinions and all kinds of different things, and then there's going to be people that probably are not great people or just say really stupid stuff. But this kind of stuff that we're talking about, this has also had a history in Boston. It's
Oh
been
my
something
goodness
that's,
gracious!
yeah, it's been something that's been talked about a lot in sports, in particular with that city. So I don't blame them for, you're in the moment, you're fired up, let
Yeah,
them have it.
yeah. I mean, what was he supposed to? I don't understand what people. I get it.
This is better
You
than
don't
jumping into the crowd. It's like, I mean, if you put it
know
in
what you.
context,
Yeah, yeah. I, I agree. I think there's a time and a place to do all of that, especially if we're talking about Kyrie Irving. So I mean, you're right. The flat Earth. My man said the Earth is flat. The flat Earth stuff. The not wanting to get vaccinated. Um, and Boston fans are insane. So I mean, you know, I get it, but and yeah, it's and everybody's like, well, you should have handled that different. It's basketball, and people talk trash. Everybody talks trash. The players talk trash. The refs are talking trash. The bench is talking trash. Everybody's saying something. So I don't know exactly what he was supposed to say. I don't know if I'd have flipped the double bird though. I think that's what's going to get him fined. If Pat Bev got fined for
yeah,
celebrating, they're going to
yeah.
nail this one for not celebrating.
Yeah, and not only that, I mean, I think it probably is the more visual aspect that gets him in trouble. Whereas, like, if you go down and you're watching reels on Instagram,
Right.
video where guys like at fans and little back and forths with courtside fans, so that kind of stuff happens all the time. But
Yeah.
I think the visual of him, flipping the bird is probably almost worse than if he would have engaged with a particular fan, kind of chit-chatting back and forth.
There used to be a dude in Washington. I can't remember the heckler's name. Robin something. He was a lawyer, and he used to be the heckler, and he used to get in everybody's, you know what. And I remember Jordan famously did something to Washington. I think this was before they became the Wizards, and he kind of just walked over and looked at him. He's like, "Are you done? Are you finished talking?" Oh, that's how you do it. You go, you score points, you beat them, and then you go, how you feeling? You done? You see that thing up there? That's a scoreboard. We winning. But everybody's not, Michael Jordan. So, what's going on in San Francisco, man? With Debo, people are threatening his life
Yeah, I don't
because
know what that's about.
okay,
Well,
so
speaking of fan bases with idiots,
oh well,
there you go. Like,
well yeah. The wide receiver market exploded this offseason. Tyreek Hill and Devontae Adams were getting the money they thought they were worth, so other teams happily traded for them and backed up the Brinks trucks. Those two transactions caused us to look at other young wide receivers who are due for new contracts. Last month ESPN reported that the New York Jets were keeping an eye on DK Metcalf, AJ Brown, and Debo Samuel for a potential trade. Out of those three, Samuel seemed like the most untouchable, right? He's coming off a career year in which he caught 77 passes for 1,405 yards and 6 touchdowns. He was also used as a running back for the 49ers, rushing 59 times for 365 yards and 8 more touchdowns. Debo proved himself as one of the best wide receivers in the NFL. And his versatility is special. With the money Hill and Adams received recently, however, the stakes have been raised, and it's no longer a sure thing Samuel will get that extension from the 49ers. Earlier this month, Samuel unfollowed the 49ers on social media while also deleting 80 posts from his Instagram account. Then there's this, and this is someone named Ari Myroff. He said, if it ain't 25 million a year, we don't want it. And Debo Samuel liked that.
I like that too.
Yeah. And this is certainly an interesting situation. And it's Samuel, yeah, $25 million. I like it.
I'm gonna bring that
Samuel
up in my meeting.
Hey man, if you get 25, I'm good with 20. I want you. You got.
All right.
I'll take 20 million.
We'll do like Friends back in the day. Is
Yes.
the package deal. The pact.
Man, look, I think that would not. I'm pretty confident that's not going to work. But it's hey man, all they can do is say no. You can get 25. You've got 4 children. That's like $1 million for each child, 21 for you and Lindsay. Split that up the way you like, and then money. I'm good.
There you go.
What time is your meeting over? So if I don't hear from you, I don't know how to proceed with the show.
Right.
Because I'm going to want to do the show still. And if you know, I don't want to get. Is Mario in on this with you? Yes. And then there's no show. Can you imagine the outrage? Oh, God, my phone would be blowing up. What did you ask for? Yeah, $20 million, boss. I need $20 million. Very good. Thank you. And this is something to take my mind off of my troubles. Is just thinking about what if they did just go, sure. Hey, here you go, Bliss. What if they were like,
you know, it's funny. No one had asked before.
we've been waiting on one of you jamokes to say something. Sure. That would be $45 million between the two of you? Yes. Can you do it? Sure. No problem. Mario's going to have to move to Los Angeles. Done. Not a problem. I'm on my way. Oh, man, that's such a good thought. $20 million. Anyway, this is certainly an interesting situation. Samuel has seen the negative facets of it. This week, he claimed on social media he's received death threats and racial stuff just because of his uncertain future. Speaking of uncertain future, we may not have a show on Friday. This meeting is on Wednesday.
Yeah, just
Oh, man.
hey, it's
I'm
worth a
about
shot.
to cry. Oh God, I gotta get hold of myself. I can't cry on TV. Mario, what happened to your new show, dude? Oh yeah, well, after 59 episodes, me and my man decided we were gonna make the power play and be like, yo, $45 million. Or we're out of here. They were like, bye. Have fun doing nothing for the rest of your lives. Oh, ooh-wee. Oh boy. Anyway, Debo Samuel ain't getting no loot, and he wants money. I'm not sure he's $45 million, but I imagine he wants some money. Riker is here, and he said, "What is the show about?" Oh man, it's about me and Gliss getting this paper player. What do you mean? Where you been? Did you catch up? Did you just see what we talked about the last 5 minutes? I'm trying to get that money, chasing that bag.
It's just like a big advertisement, us advocating for ourselves. That's
pretty much. Oh, I can imagine what's happening in California right now. Just the look, or everybody's looking at each other like they're done. Pull it. Turn them off. Turn them off. If for some reason, though, let's just step away from sports for a second. If for some reason we get to the place where we can demand that kind of salary, that means that everybody on Backchannel has done an amazing job.
Yeah, right.
And we are like, you know what? And people are like, whoo, you smell that? That smells like Backchannel.tv coming through. That's right.
I was going to say, everybody should be rooting for that to happen.
That's what I'm saying. That's how you know.
Because in that hypothetical situation, yes, it's good for everyone.
There's someone that's in Oregon named Advertise that says, I have, and I don't know what that means. You have $45 million for me and Gliss? Is that what that means? Because if you do, I'm with it. I'm just looking to make sure you don't say anything else. Oh, man, that was fun. Just for the 10 seconds I imagined in my head, $45 million for me and you. And my willingness to let you have more money because of your children, who I am default.
What a good guy.
You know, hey, you know, those are my nephews. I want my nephews to be happy. I want them to know that Uncle Mario is not out here like just on some personal mission to get all the money. And I'm sharing.
I mean, in that scenario, I just take my private jet every couple times a month to come catch a baseball game with you or something.
I would think we'd be able to do that with that kind of man. Oh, let me check the email to make sure we haven't got one, because I'm sure it's like, what the hell happened to your show? It was good until you mentioned You getting $45 million? No, no emails yet. Oh, where's good? Okay. Riker says he has something to advertise. You know what, Riker? I don't know who you would contact about that. Um, but oh, Riker is advertised. I'm seeing
Oh,
what's happening
oh, I
now.
see. I see.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Who do we get in? How do we facilitate this? I'm just still thinking about what Gliss said, y'all. I'm sorry. I wasn't expecting that, and now my mind is blown at the possibility of what happens at his meeting this week.
I assume if you
Ooh.
want to advertise, though, you just go to what is it? The old backchannel.tv here.
Yeah, I would imagine. Go to
You can leave comments
backchannel.tv.
and all that stuff. So I mean, that's the way to get in touch with anything relating to Backchannel. So
No Name says, "I dare you to eat a something." Well,
uh,
I
I'm a
dare
little
you.
worried about the next word.
Oh, don't worry. You don't have to worry because I've already destroyed that whole thing. I dare you to try to say something else because now you're banned forever. Hey, enjoy your fruit cocktail juice with that little kid that was setting out Cuervo to everybody. You're out of here. Bye. Done. If I'm not gonna get $45 million from me and Gliss, I'm banning people. I've just banned one. I'll unban you. All right. Whatever. No name. Congratulations. Um, let's see here. We totally went. The wheels have fallen off the sports report. NFL draft is 10 days away, and
Yeah.
that should be an exciting time. I'm. The Bears aren't going to do anything. I am hopeful. They're not. They don't have a pick for the next 20 years. They got like second round picks, but
Yeah.
you can find some good stuff in the second
Yeah,
round.
I was gonna say sometimes those late round picks you can pick up some gems.
Yeah. Lacking Mouse is here, and Jeremy is here. Jeremy spoke in that day. No Name says, "You breaking up your fingers like, and I have your there." Man, look, I can't be figuring out your space language, dude. You're gonna have to clear it up for me. What are you saying? You breaking up your fingers and like, and I have. Lucky Mouse is joining us from Yard. Infamous Dove, Slow Cat, Funny Mouse, 888-422. Oh, that sounds like a phone number. Eddie in California, Wistful Badger, Robbie's from TV, London, and a bunch of no names, including this person here that says, "You're breaking up your fingers like, and I have your there." Mm. I don't know what to do with that. I don't know how to process that.
I think we just need some clarification.
Yeah. Maybe that person might be the link to our $45 million heist that we're trying to pull this network. I can't imagine the circus that happens though, that we get $45 million. But you never know. Things have happened. Things have happened.
Funny Mouse loves the show.
Oh well, that's good. That's better than whatever. I'm trying to joke you out. You mean choke me out? Oh, I get it. You're trying to do something that is physically impossible to do. And if we were face to face, you wouldn't even try and do it. Perfect. Elastic Moth is here. I'm trying to joke you out. I believe choke. And thank you, Funny Mouse, for the compliment. I love that you love the show. I'm trying to choke you out, man.
They could be trying to joke us out. I don't.
Maybe, but if you're trying to choke me out, I'm from Chicago, player. Not happening. And if you're trying to joke me out, then you got to come with some jokes. And where you from, No Name? And what's your 1,000,000,20,000 out of 100? All right, Funny Mouse. I don't know what that means. Let me move on. Um, I saw something you put in here today. First, let me do these. On this date in 1983, author Alice Walker won the Pulitzer Prize for The Color Purple. In 1994, former President Nixon suffered a stroke at his home in Park Ridge, New Jersey, and was taken to New York Hospital Cornell Medical Center. 4 days later, he died. In 1995, former San Francisco quarterback Joe Montana retired from professional football. On this date in 1999, Wayne Gretzky played his last National Hockey League game as his New York Rangers lost to Pittsburgh 2-1 in overtime. Born on this date, Conan O'Brien. How old is Conan? 60, yeah? 59. Melissa Joan Hart, happy birthday. Sabrina the Teenage Witch, she's 46. Oh, we can't go a day without talking about a Kardashian. Kourtney Kardashian's 43. In music history, Simply Red's If You Don't Know Me By Now is released in 1989. It's a good song, a good version of that song, I should say. And David Lee Roth was arrested in 1993 in New York. This is what I saw that made me laugh. After purchasing marijuana for $10.
That's messed up, man.
That is so messed up.
That's wrong.
That is so messed up.
$10. Come on now.
$10. Funny Mouse says they like the show 10 out of 10. I don't want to assume that that's a woman. Thank you, Funny Mouse. Glad you like it. We'll do those later. I don't want to spoil the Did You Knows. This John Hinckley story is weird. Let me read this real quick. John Hinckley Jr., who attempted to assassinate President Ronald Reagan in 1981, is now playing sold-out concerts. Hinckley, 66, is a singer and guitarist. Have you heard any of his stuff, Gliss?
No, I have not.
I have. He can sing. He's not
really?
bad. Yeah, he's not bad at all. He's been posting original songs and covers of hits by artists like Elvis, Bob Dylan, Joni Mitchell on YouTube since 2020. He currently has more than 26,000 subscribers. Hinckley was 25 years old when he shot and wounded the 40th U.S. president outside of a Washington, D.C. hotel in an effort to reportedly impress actress Jodie Foster, who has no interest in you. The shooting paralyzed Reagan press secretary James Brady and also injured a Secret Service agent and Washington police officer. He was found not guilty of the assassination attempt by reason of insanity and sentenced to treatment. He was released from institutional psychiatric care in September of 2016 and freed from oversight last year. Wow. When we come back, that's crazy. That dude tried to kill a U.S. president. You're like, hey, you're okay.
And now he's just playing.
You're all right. Hey, you know what? Why don't you? Hey, we understand you play guitar. That's part of your therapy. Hey, that's fine. Go ahead. Yeah. Don't worry about it. You're good. Yeah. Oh boy, I feel stupid. It's fine if you read the numbers. You don't have to, but I kind of like hearing the numbers right out because I'm blind. Mario. Come on. Funny Mouse, I had no way of knowing you were blind. All right, I thought it was a phone number. So this is Funny Mouse. I'm going to do it right. 888-422-03. Thank you for checking out the show. I really appreciate that. And I'm glad that you like the show 10 out of 10. And Julia's joined the stream as well. And the quiet that you hear is that big heel that just appeared over my face for saying what I said about the numbers. Hey, Russell, thanks for joining the stream. When we come back, we'll have we'll try to take a turn here since me and Gliss just tried to demand $45 million from our bosses. It'll be our story to the end of the day. It'll be the front of mind story. And we will bring that to you in just a moment. You're watching The Drive with Mario Smith here on Backchannel.tv. Hey, everybody. I'm just seeing this report. It may not mean anything to you, but it means something to the folks from Chicago. Federal prosecutors won't pursue a case against Jason Van Dyke, the former Chicago police officer who shot and killed then 17-year-old Laquan McDonald The U.S. Attorney's Office announced the decision today in a news release, saying its prosecutors would face a quote very high bar in securing a conviction against Van Dyke, and even if they were able to do so, whatever sentence there might be could quote diminish the important results already achieved, close quote. McDonald's relatives could not immediately be reached for comment. As recently as February, some of McDonald's family called for Van Dyke to face federal charges, but the U.S. Attorney's Office said the family was more recently in agreement not to pursue charges. Here's our story for a friend of mine. Take it to your dinner table, to your to the water cooler if they still have those in your office tomorrow. If you still go to the office, that is. When 5-year-old twins Fionola and Celadith Clymer get on the bus to school each day, they are greeted by a familiar voice. Hello, number one princess. Hello, number two princess, driver Alvin Carter calls out. Carter, referred to fondly as Mr. Alvin by the twins, is a driver and custodian at the girls' school in Skokie, Illinois. Other times he greets them with, good morning, sunshine, or a joke. He says, can I borrow your dress? And I say no, and I start laughing, Fionola said. Carter has worked at Elizabeth Meyer School for 28 years. During that time, he's become a well-known figure in the community. He says, even before I knew, Siobhan Clymer, the twins' mom, says, even before I knew him, I'd heard about him from our neighbors whose kids were in middle school and high school. They're like, oh, when you go to kindergarten, you're going to meet Mr. Alvin. For nearly 3 decades, Carter has driven the bus for kindergartners, and he loves it. He says they make his day. Quote, the faces, the smiles, the greets, and all that stuff, he said. In the lunchroom, it's like we're brothers and sisters, so it's hard to really not be there. Carter has 8 children of his own, all adults now. He said the kids on the bus remind him of when his children were in kindergarten, and he revels in that. In fact, he's tried to retire over the years, but just can't bring himself to do it. Every time I remember the faces I see in the morning, I'm like, oh, I can't do this. I got to be there, he said. In addition to missing those sweet faces, Carter said he also can't pull himself away from the interactions. He says, I'm sitting in the lunchroom with them, and it's like I can't leave. I can't even leave to go eat lunch because we always have a conversation. Those talks and those relationships got put on hold when COVID-19 hit. A few months into the pandemic, he heard that kids and parents were worried about him, so he revved up the empty school bus and drove around to their houses. I'd stop and I'd honk, and they're standing at the window, he said. I'd let them see that I'm okay. There's a little one on the bus right now. She used to stand by the window with her older brother and sister just to wave at me, and that made me feel very special. And even though some school districts in Illinois and across the country saw shortages of bus drivers as schools reopened, quitting wasn't an option for Carter. While Carter and the Clymer twins joke and talk about dresses, their mom, Siobhan, also cherishes another aspect of their relationship. When Fionola was 4 years old, she was diagnosed with neuroblastoma, a cancer that most often occurs in children. Siobhan said the doctors were able to remove the tumor, and Fionola is doing wonderfully now. But she still had to miss school for medical appointments when she started kindergarten last year, and Carter noticed. I know a couple of times when Fionola would be out, he'd ask me, where's the other one? And I might say, oh, she has an appointment, or, she's not feeling well, Siobhan said. It was just a lot of empathy behind Mr. Alvin's eyes, even when he's smiling and joking. And he'd say, well, tell her that I miss her. And he'd honk for her when she was inside. In addition to just having fun, Carter sees it as his duty to motivate each child on his bus. I'd like them to be successful in life, he said. So if it starts at kindergarten, then it might continue. Carter doesn't claim any credit, but speaks with pride about some of his former students who have gone on to be doctors, nurses, and engineers. He honks at them when he sees them, and they love running into him too, though Carter jokes that it can all be too much sometimes. When I go to Target sometimes, I got to try and hide because I run into so many of them, he said. You try to hide, but they still come find you. They'll find you. I don't know how, but they know how. Oh, there's Mr. Alvin over there. I like it. I just love being around. That motivates me. That's what keeps me going. Try as he might, he just can't hide. But really, as Celadith has witnessed, little stops him from chatting. He talks to people, even if it's a snowstorm or a rainstorm, she said. He always stops by and talks to anyone. He says good morning to the grown-ups and the kids every single day. Shout out to Mr. Alvin. Sounds like a cool dude. Wouldn't mind Mr. Al finding him one day and meeting him. Russell has joined the stream along with the Gliss family. Thank God, someone. Loud Goose, Elastic Moth, Pablo, Stable Antelope, Big Bello asks, how do I live train? And Loud Goose. I said that, I think. All right. Let's have at it, Gliss. It's time for Did You Know? You ready?
Let's do it.
Let's go. Did you know, Gliss, that 40% of us won't buy a car that doesn't have a cup holder? What car doesn't have a cup holder?
Yeah.
Did you know cheerleading is typically associated with women, but at one time it used to be all men? Did you know this summer Americans will use 45 million pounds of marshmallows for, I guess, s'mores? Did you know 13% of people have left the house wearing different colored socks? Yes. And it's more than 13%. People lie. It's more like 90%. Did you know it takes the average person 7 minutes to fall asleep? I must not be average because it takes me a lot longer. Did you know, Gliss, according to a recent study, eating pizza can reduce your chances of getting cancer? I bet it's because of the tomatoes.
Makes sense.
Yeah. Did you know 1 in 10 families don't save leftovers from dinner? You've got a lot of people in your house. You guys save leftovers?
Yeah. Yeah, we save. Yeah, usually.
I think most people save them.
Yeah.
Did you know the profession with the highest divorce rate is a dancer? I can see that, actually. I know some dancers, and yeah, it's a lot of jealousy in those houses. Did you know that 30% of us are more likely to socialize when the weather is warmer? Boy, that's duh, no kidding. Did you know that research shows that many women worry that their hands will give away their real age? I can see that. Kids who are rejected by their dads are more likely to have social anxiety. Studies show children with heterosexual parents face increased loneliness when they're rejected by either parent, but only rejection by their fathers leads to lasting social anxiety and difficulty forming friendships. And real quick, a guy bought an NFT for $2.9 million, asked for $48 million, and got offered $3,600. A crypto entrepreneur who last year brought a digital token representing Twitter founder Jack Dorsey's first ever tweet. He paid $2.9 million for it, and this month sought to make good on his investment, putting it up for auction with an expectation it could net him $48 million. It did not. An auction for the NFT was held, and one of the handful of bidders taking part, the highest offer, was for $277. A subsequent offer has since come in for $3,600, but that is still a colossal way off $2.9 million, let alone $48 million. Amazing. We learned a lot today, Gliss. We learned so much that I knocked off everybody that was chatting with us. We learned a lot today, including that you need to watch your child's lunch bag to make sure they're not taking Jose Cuervo to school. Don't teach someone how to drive in a cemetery. And most importantly, me and Gliss need $45 million. That's right.
ASAP.
Hey, make it worse. ASAP. Hey, man, thanks so much for your help today, brother. I appreciate it.
Yeah, of course. You have a good night.
Absolutely. You too. Thanks to everybody who watched us here on Backchannel.tv. I have somehow knocked off what I was supposed to say to you, so I'll just say this. The sun is beginning its descent in Chicago, Illinois. It is a cloudy day here. I hope your day is good. Or your night will be good. This ends our broadcast day. You can join us tomorrow morning beginning at 6 a.m. Eastern for Haley and Allison's Good Morning. On behalf of everybody at Backchannel.tv, thanks so much for watching our show today. Thank you to all our passengers as well. We'll see everyone tomorrow at 4 p.m. Eastern Time. Have a great night, everybody. Peace.